Hi, I'm CaDasia Wright,
I'm Kamille Williams.
and this is Talk the Plank with Grant Yates and his ag teacher, Mr. Parker. So, Grant, we know you have had a lot of rewards and championships, trophies, I guess, for your tractors. So, could you tell us how you feel?
Um, I think the awards were fair at the shows and stuff. I don't know. I mean, it was hard to do. It's it's got some really tough competition, especially with the tractor shows, because usually like every tractor that shows up is like really good, and so it's pretty like I don't know, it's pretty tough.
What would you say was your biggest tractor meet or show?
The biggest tractor show I had was definitely at Houston, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. There was like, I don't know, Parker, you were there, and there was like 20 tractors there, I think.
Yeah, at least. There's probably, 2025. There was a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of competition because a lot of those students do a lot of work, a lot of restorations. Sometimes have more of a budget to play with.
Yeah.
On occasion, but yeah, there's a lot that goes on with those shows, and Grant put in a bunch of work restoring the tractor that he did.
Okay, Mr. Parker, like, did it put any stress onto you on, like, your behalf for him knowing he was going to this competition?
Not even a little bit. No. Now, part of it, so I got hired on mid-year. So I got hired on as with the ag department in December. So when I came in, it was very much like, here's the students who are already showing things. Like you were mostly done
By December?
by December, because Fort Worth rolls around first. And as far as the spring shows, we have major livestock show and rodeos. There's like 5 of them. So Fort Worth is one. San Antonio, San Angelo, Houston, and Austin. Those are all big major shows for our livestock shows. So for animals, mechanics projects, and different things like that. And then our local show was Kaufman County. So when I got hired on, Grant was pretty much done. And so I accompanied him to those shows as being part of the mechanics department. And I learned a lot about what he did and the steps that it took, and got with his parents, and I got to meet them and get to know them a little bit better. But yeah, it was really neat to go and see those shows. I had done that when I was a kid in high school here, learning these shows and taking ag classes and doing stuff like that. So yeah, it was really nice to be able to see it from the teacher side versus the competitor. Because when you're there as a teacher, it's less stressful. Like as a competitor, it's like any competition. There's stress.
Oh.
Did you ever do any ag mechanic shows?
Yeah. We actually, there's a trailer down at the ag barn right now that's the trailer I built.
Oh, really?
Me and like 2 other guys, my senior year, we built that trailer.
Oh.
How long did it take?
It couple months maybe. It wasn't super long, and then we took it to 3 shows. We took it to San Angelo, San Antonio, and Houston. So we got to go to those stock shows and take our trailer.
Where did y'all place?
Not well, not very well. Trailers are hard. There is so for Grant's tractor there was 20, 25, 30 tractors there. For trailers there was probably 100.
There's so many.
There's 120, and they're different sizes, so you get placed into a certain size of trailer, a certain weight capacity of trailer, all these different categories that they get placed in. And the one we were in was a bigger class, a bigger size trailer, and we had painted it all in-house. We had done everything here at the shop in our ag barn, and we didn't go and get it powder-coated, and so that the paint job was less than stellar. And that measures for a lot at those shows. They want a nice looking paint job, a nice looking coating on it. So we were proud of it. It still is in use. We still use it today. It still works. So I was proud of our efforts because it's a practical use item that we still use now.
So what would you do differently if you would be if you would build another trailer? What would you do differently to like place good in a show?
Get it powder coated. Take it professionally done. Which, to be honest, in my opinion, is kind of bogus. I feel like because when you go to take it to someone to get it done, that's going to someone else. They're getting it paid to be done professionally, and it should be an amateur competition of high schoolers learning to do this. Like a lot of the work Grant did was on his own. He painted, he mechanicked, he fixed, he repaired everything, and taking it to somebody else to do it, and then bringing it saying, "Look what I did." Well, you didn't really do it.
And a lot of it depends on the judge you get.
Yeah.
Like some judges, they just care about the object that's like in front of them, and then some like really get into like who did this, like why did you do this
Oh yeah.
and stuff. But and I've had both of those kinds of judges.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer's just super hard.
Super hard.
Like tractors is pretty hard, but trailers is like if you have to be like professional level. Like it's super competitive.
Mr. Parker, what was going through your mind when you first like got to meet Grant and seeing him with the tractor? I guess like.
I was underwhelmed by Grant. I was impressed by the work he had done because it looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Case tractor is the brand, like the make. What's the model of it that you had?
631.
631. So it was a Case 631, and it looked clean. And one of the things I had told him at Fort Worth, because I'm looking around, Fort Worth was a smaller tractor class. There were only 6 or 7 tractors that show.
There was not that many that
Not that many. It was pretty small. But what was nice is to be able to kind of compare immediate, because they were all sitting next to each other. So you could just kind of walk from one to the other. And part of the regulations for those shows is, because these are old, old tractors and stuff, they can leak oil. Like any vehicle can, it can leak. So you're required to put like drip pans underneath parts that could leak so it doesn't mess up the floors. And I was paying attention to everybody's around, and Grant's was the only one not leaking a fairly consistent amount. It was like a couple of drops, and that was it.
Yeah.
So he did a really good job, and I could just kind of pay attention and look. And his dad, Grant's a pretty low-key, kind of calm individual. His dad is anything but a low-key, calm individual. He's hype and just like, hey, man, you would like this. And he showed me the manual, like, look how the brake works. And Grant's like, it's a terrible brake. I hate it. And his dad's like, oh, this is great. He was so excited to see all these accidents. And so his parents were excited, which, he might have been Grant might have been nervous with it, but his parents were super excited.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows his attention to detail with it and his commitment to it, because he did it. He did a lot of that work. He earned the places that he got. He did a good job on those shows.
Grant, who would you say motivated you like throughout all of this?
Man, probably my dad. He's always telling me to get out there and work on it, and I worked on it at the shop at home, which of course is all his stuff, and a lot of my knowledge base comes from him, just teaching me stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely him.
Grant, could you tell us one of tell us like one time that something had went wrong during a show?
Parker loves this one.
It's a good story.
Oh, it's great. It's great and terrible. But so my tractor has 4 gears, and the shifter's in the middle. And then off to the side, it has a range shifter, is what it's called. And most tractors have like 1 or 2, but this one has 3, and it's weird mechanism to get it to activate. So you shift into your gear, right, and then you clutch it, and the first one is medium, which is just pulled back.
Yeah.
And then the second one is high, which is just pulled forward. And you think low would just be pulled back even more, but you have to pop it out and then push it forward. And all that's keeping that in place is a little like hairpin, like literally a hairpin.
Oh.
And it had been in there since probably it was made. And so whenever I was doing the mechanical testing, it sheared that pin off and it got stuck into low range. And I was like,
oh no,
so angry.
But it was in gear.
But it was in gear because
That's very important.
It could have broken neutral.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had any competition.
Did the judge notice, or did anybody else notice?
It'd be hard not to notice. Yeah.
Yeah, he was standing right
He
there.
was looking at me.
What
yeah.
place did you get?
Fort Worth? What'd I get?
Third in class.
Third?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got third.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah.
The fact that he could drive is a big
Yes.
deal.
That's
It's one thing to make an amazing lawn ornament,
Yeah.
but if it can't work, that's fairly useless.
I get that a lot. People are always asking me to redo tractors, and I'm always like, I'm done.
No more.
They're like, I want something cool to put in my yard.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So do you have any upcoming ideas or doing anything like building another tractor or building anything since? Yeah.
I want to get into cars and stuff.
Oh.
But no, not any tractors. Unless I would do my first year, I did a Ford 9N, and that's a pretty small, like, manageable project. I would definitely do another one of those, but I don't know. Another something like a Case or like a bigger tractor, no.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, would not.
Why not?
It's just, I don't know. It's it's like all the time and like effort that you put into that, you could have
Yeah.
put into like something else and gotten a better result.
Yeah, I see what
And
you're saying.
yeah, and it really just, I guess the only reason I'm doing this is so I can show it.
Oh,
I mean, it's cool and stuff, but like I just want to build a knowledge base that I can use for like cars, basically. So.
what is something important that like people who wants to build tractors or want to build tractors, like what is one important thing that you could say that you got to know before you get into building it? Or
How expensive it's gonna be? I know it doesn't seem like all these, especially if it's an old tractor, it's gonna be like free. Like you can find those, like just come take this out of my yard, and then you're
yeah.
gonna spend thousands. Like it's just gonna add up.
Oh,
So you gotta manage your budget. Like
Yeah.
I do pretty good about it. It doesn't seem like I do, but I'm pretty good about it because like some of the tractors that win, like Houston's the big show and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll spend like 40 grand.
Oh.
Was my first year? I was talking to the guy that won Houston, and he spent $40,000 on his.
oh,
40,000 is crazy.
literally,
was
like,
like-
oh my god.
Wow.
For a very specific vehicle.
Literally.
You only do
Yes.
a handful of things.
But
Yeah.
and that tractor's not worth
No,
10.
it's not worth
No.
it.
So you have to
it's
really
not.
manage your cost
Of it.
effectiveness.
Like,
You
what
spent
else-
all that for nothing,
Yeah, because what else could
basically.
I mean, I don't know.
You won, so like
mean-
you win like a package of stuff at those big major
Oh.
shows. So
Oh,
like Grant this
yeah.
year for Houston, he got second in class,
Uh-huh.
and second place in class got him like nearly $4,000 worth of tools.
Oh,
Oh,
4 or
okay.
5,000, yeah, 6,000. Because he got
Yeah.
two welders and a plasma cutter, and
I got
a bunch of stuff.
I got think I got 2 or 3 MIG welders.
Yeah.
And I
There's
got
a
a
bunch.
stick welder.
What are
Yeah.
those?
So different types of
different
welding,
types of welding.
machines. So
Oh.
stick is kind of your most basic. The MIG machines have like a wire that comes out, so you can use it a lot more mobile, and it's a lot smaller.
MIG is so
Yeah.
much easier.
It's so much easier. So yeah, he got all those and then different cutting machines and whatnot. He got a bunch of stuff. So it's you get that, but if you put in, let's say, 10 grand for a tractor, it was free. You've spent $10,000 on it, and you get $5,000 worth of stuff at one show. That tractor can go from show to show and just keep going. So if you get multiple packages, it can be kind of worth it. But if you're spending
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
and you don't win, you are really in
Yeah.
trouble.
that was just
You
basically
really-
a waste of time.
Huge. Maybe the kid loved it. Maybe he learned a
Maybe.
lot, and that's awesome. But I've got kids, and I don't love them that much to spend 40,000 on a tractor. So I don't know about that.
And second place at Houston that one year got spent 60,000.
Oh,
So-
60?
So
Yeah.
41,
So-
60 loss.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And there's no way of knowing how much it's going to be when you start because you get just this raw tractor. The internals might be perfect. You think, oh, great, this will be a cheap build.
Yeah.
Or you get one that looks pretty good, but all the interior is just junk.
Just-
So there's no way of knowing until you start taking it apart.
And I don't even understand how people spend like 40,000
At all.
Because they got that ranch hand money. I ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah.
At all.
I got pretty lucky with mine, honestly. It was a big piece of junk, but
Oh.
I
But you
didn't
flipped
spend
it.
that much on it. Yeah,
Oh.
How much would you say you spent on it?
I spent a little under 7,000.
See,
Oh,
yeah, that's
that's good.
better than 40.
Yeah.
See
It was
the
a lot.
40 and
Absolutely.
60.
I thought that was a lot.
I've never seen someone so passionate about a price figure. Something you don't know, like 40.
Like, oh my God. Yeah, 40. Oh, my-
I'm still stuck on the price too.
yeah.
I always joke with them at Houston. I'm friends with. That's also something nice about the tractor and ag mechanics. Everyone's not like enemies
Yeah.
or anything. They're friends with all of them. So I always joke with them that they may have won the show, but I always win the money. Just get my money back.
Right.
Literally. Mr. Parker, what are you and your ag students, or you're teaching your ag students, like your upcoming projects?
So we don't have anything major planned for right now because end of the year we're almost done. So like with the shows coming up in the fall, there's like State Fair and a few different shows that we can do. But currently we don't have anything major. If someone wants us to build something, we are more than willing to take a look and come up with an
Yeah.
idea. I want to start taking some smaller projects because like Grant's thing was a big project.
Yeah.
And since I'm really trying to grow that side of things with our department, we haven't had that
Yeah.
in a few years. I want to start small and have multiple teams of students, hopefully this next year, building kind of smaller end stuff, do a really good job on it, better quality, and take those to the different shows that we can go to, especially in the spring, because you have all your big majors and your local Kaufman County show, because anybody can basically show at Kaufman County. It's close. It's 10 minutes down the road.
And you get out of school.
And you get out of school. You get out of school for the day.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to spend like 10,000 on a project.
Yeah, no.
Just
You could do a good project
That's
for
like tractors are like the bigger stuff. But that is one good thing about the shows is that you're sectioned off where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, you're not having to go up
Sectioned off.
against the
So,
$40,000 tractors.
Yeah. Well, that is it, Pirates. That's Walk the Plank. Oop, sorry.
Talk the plank.
Talk the
Plank.
There we
Plank.
go.
I'm
We
CaDasia,
enjoy-
right?
oh, my
I'm
bad.
sorry.
Oh, it's falling apart. We were doing so well.
Yeah, I'm Kamille Williams.
And I'm CaDasia, right? And
And I'm Mr. Parker.
And I'm Grant Yates.
that's
Okay.
Talk the Plank, guys.
We enjoy having y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.